Welcome back, everyone. We are on the floor right now with the next two competitors. It is Zalae and Neirea. Guys, how are you feeling? I mean, I know a little bit, and you didn't really explain it in your last interview, but you did quite a bit of preparation last night. Do you want to explain to everyone exactly what that looks like?
Yeah, I called up my friend Ike, and we talked about all the things I did wrong the other day when I was playing, and there were a lot. It was like a couple hours long phone call. I really just played horribly in one of my games. But everything else is pretty good, so I kind of fixed up the strategy for what I'm doing in that matchup, and I'm feeling really confident. I definitely have the lineup advantage. I correctly predicted the metagame for this tournament, so I had the advantage going in. It's going to be a question of whether I can, follow through on that.
Neirea, we haven't actually gotten a chance to talk to you yet today. This is your first time actually popping up on stream. Do you still feel like Zalae has the most favored deck lineup in the entire tournament?
Yeah, it's probably the only lineup that is favored against me, so it will be tough.
So if you do manage to come out on top in this, are you confident that you could take the entire thing?
I think if I'll win this one, I'll meet Zalae again.
Well, Zalae is definitely going to be that roadblock for you. Did you do anything special to prepare last night?
Not really. I just analyzed my games with Warrior and to make sure that I won't do the same mistakes as yesterday. But everything else was good, so it's fine.
So you feel pretty confident going into this match. That is good to hear. They're going to go jump in and get straight into the game, so stay tuned. And now I'm going to hand it on over to the casters.
Welcome back, everyone, here at StarLadder. This time I'm actually joined by somebody else. And what happened to your hair, Firebet?
Yeah, they voted. They wanted it pink, and it's pink. It doesn't look that bad. I thought it would look a lot worse, actually. I can see myself on the screen here.
I voted for gold. I think
right.
that, I think that one was
way
worse.
Right.
Yeah,
so I appreciate my Twitter followers. Giving me pink. Pink's easy to pull off. Much easier than gold.
It doesn't look too bad.
It doesn't look.
It does.
It looks all right.
Yeah.
It looks beter than Neirea's chances going into this game.
Oh, you really?
Say that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, so we had a great first series, but now going to Zalae against Neirea, and you think Zalae is favorite?
Yeah, I think he's favored on paper. The lineups are very strong for him. We have seen him stumble a little bit. He had a series earlier on day one where he was favored in the lineups and was unable to win. So one of the things that's been really shaky for him has been his Jade Shaman deck. He's been saying he felt really uncomfortable playing it. He said he needed a lot more work with it. So hopefully he's figured that one out, because that's really been holding him back. He's incurred the most losses on any deck on that Jade Shaman deck.
Okay. Yeah, I have to say that also, like, Zalae lineups, it looks really strong. He has also a really great, more mid-range Paladin, what is doing quite well. Yeah. I think here too, the Gunter Mage doing quite well, where Neirea is having Freeze Mage, that might hurt him a little bit. Neirea going with an Evolved Shaman there, so has maybe a decent shot there against the control lineup there, but Taunt Warrior is going to be a big problem for Neirea.
Yeah.
We both agree on that, right?
Yeah, that is the huge problem for Neirea. All of Zalae's decks are targeting that really powerfully. That's the main goal of the lineup, is boxing out control in general, but if you had to pick one specific deck it's boxing out, it's that Taunt Warrior.
Yeah, and I think both of the players are playing Questroke and Druid. I think these are two of the decks Felling they're just so good in control mirrors. Like, it's are the two decks that have now been 2 months dominating once you're facing a control item. So yeah, it's gonna be Questroke and Druid, or Questroke and Druid bans, and the other one might just sneak in.
They probably just both ban the rogues. Oh, Zalae's Druid is actually banned, so he is going to be playing as Questroke. Neirea most likely takes this approach on the ban because both decks are very likely to get a free win, but Zalae's Questroke's a little bit heavily teched compared to Neirea's. So in Zalae's Questroke, he has double Hungry Crab and double Tar Creeper, cards that you do not want against control decks. They're anti-aggro tools to complete the quest.
I also have to say, I think Freeze Mage has a really good shot against Questroke.
Like, for sure.
Yeah, Freeze Mage, where the Gunter Mage has already a decent shot, the Freeze Mage has much better late game opportunities where you can freeze the board with a Nova, not taking damage. Doomsayer sometimes really helping a lot too. So I can see it making some sense here.
Yeah, it works out quite nicely. Whereas Jade Druid gets a free win against pretty much everything, right? Like, what is Jade Druid's bad matchup against Neirea's lineup? I guess it's not great against the Shaman. The Shaman can oftentimes bully Jade Druid a little bit. So
yeah, the Shaman.
But you're probably going to be able to get the Shaman out in other matchups, so I don't think it's that big of a deal for him. So yeah, the ban makes a lot of sense. Kind of straying from the typical double quest rogue ban in these matchups.
And we actually see here Neirea also starting off with the Shaman, as we already mentioned. Evolved Shaman is going to get played here for Neirea. And facing here from Zalae, the Gunter Mage. A really heavy teched Gunter Mage, I have to say. And teched in a way that I'm not so sure about if it's going to be that helpful in this matchup, because it's really on a heavy late game end. Neirea also having the double Evolve, actually keeping Evolved double gangster in the starting end against Gunter Mage. That's actually really interesting to see. And Zalae is a lot of running tech cards. Some can be great with the Meteor around, with a Harrison, but also we have seen the Bully, the Antonidas combo, and they might not be so great against Shaman.
Yeah, they're a little slow, but it does give you the extra burn to be able to go over the top. Shaman from Neirea here does not have any healing in it. So if Zalae can just find enough time, his opportunity to utilize his burn damage, utilize extra fireballs from Antonidas is a big threat. But Neirea is going to look to try and not give him that time, and the Doppelgangster Evolve combo is one of the ways to do it.
Also, Zalae double keeping the glyphs, just showing the power of the card, I guess.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's pretty... Not so many spells normally getting kept there in the starting end. I think Zalae really wants to trade everything, every minion in the early game away. Having a Frostbolt opportunity to deal with a Flame Totem, deal with a Mana Tide Totem is just nice at the starting hand.
Most definitely. Neither player is being very aggressive. They both had like a very controlling keep on their hands, right? Like Neirea keeps his late game combo. He's saying, you know what? It doesn't matter what happens in the early game. Zalae is going to be trying to remove my minions. So if he's removing my minions, what if I just don't mulligan for any of the minions? And then he doesn't have anything to do. And that's kind of what happened. Like Zalae kept Frostbolt double glyph, trying to remove Neirea's pressure, and Neirea just kept Doppelgangster Evolve. And since Zalae kept all this removal, he's just got a dead hand and can't do anything. If Neirea was actually being aggressive with minions, Zalae would have plays, but he's just toteming.
It can be a little dangerous maybe with early minions. Archaeolist and the Medivh Velvet connect really well into cards like Firefly. And
right, so it's a little bit of a mind games off the mulligan there.
Yeah,
because Neirea is expecting Zalae to be keeping removal.
But especially by Neirea, because Neirea was making the big decision of keeping Evolve with double gangster. Where, for Zalae, like he got to remove, like it's his it's gonna be his game plan for the whole game.
Right, it's just remove everything, stall enough time, eventually win with Pyroblast.
And Mana Tides are such great pickups for Neirea in the early game. They're just taking the first resources out of the hand for Zalae, and Neirea is just not losing anything, just getting the cards back in his hand.
And discounting the thing from below as well, and setting up those tempo swings for later.
These Mana Tides, I have to say, it could become really difficult for Neirea with the double gangster keep with Evolve if he won't hit these Mana Tide totems.
Now Zalae has the decision to make of how much burn does he want to spend on this Mana Tide, how much does he want to try and save for the face. He does have the option to fireball it.
Oh wow. Zalae has been fireballing a lot of bad minions. I have seen a lot of, over all days, I have been seeing a lot of fireballs on 0-3s from Zalae's Protect. But just taking, he's already just saying, yeah, I'm gonna just trade everything you play. I think it might be a little bit difficult for Zalae to continue because he's playing the Gunter Mage. He's not running freezes, he's not running Volcanic Potion. While there's sometimes a tech around in these mages, he's running so top end heavy with an additional Antonidas and an Brugly Bully. It might be a little tough.
Right, he needs to find more time than he currently has. This board from Neirea is very threatening. Bloodlust, obviously, in Neirea's Shaman. 2 copies of it, so he has to be weary about that happening.
From here on, you already have to start to respect the Bloodlust, kinda. Can be alright if you kill the thing from below, but it's gonna be difficult.
Can you afford to commit the Flame Strike here, or do you have to wait for a bigger board? He also has to worry about what did Neirea keep in his opening hand that he hasn't played yet.
I don't know if he's gonna figure this one out.
Hey, I guarantee you that's what he's thinking about right now. He's like, did he really keep Doppelgangster Evolve? He's putting his face on or his hands on his face, just trying to figure out, because he hasn't played whatever those cards are. He keeps totem passing with cards he kept in his hand, and that gives a lot of information to him. And you know, a good player is going to be able to use that information to their advantage.
Zalae also definitely a really informative player. He's trying to get all the information during a game that he can. He's kind of known for it also in the competitive scene.
Right.
Oh, that's a great
sick card. Now the Volcanic Potion plus the Flame Strike can be used to clear like a Doppelgangster Evolve sort of board.
Yeah, or maybe even over 2 turns. This is actually really smart from Zalae. Like the secret way, he's running a counter spell, and where it looks really good, maybe Neirea's thinking of Bloodlust here. Like now I can hit it on 5 minions, let's freaking go. But now with the secret being played, he kind of cannot do, because it might be a counter spell.
It might be a counter spell, so he has to hold back on the Bloodlust, and there's no 1-mana spell except Evolve that could possibly test for the counter spell. And if you evolve your board, unless it evolves into all chargers, you can't Bloodlust after it.
Yeah, and Zalae, where we said maybe that he might not run enough removal or hard AoEs, well, the extra Flame Strike and the extra Volcanic Potion from the Glyph are gonna help him a lot to still figure out that game plan.
Neirea can try and test for the counterspell this turn with a Maelstrom Portal if he wants. He could wait till next turn and Maelstrom Portal Bloodlust as well.
Yeah, it's really difficult. Maybe he's like...
Wow. Alexstrasza is a very strong pickup. You're going to need that to be able to close out the game. Now you can see he's got 15 damage from the Alexstrasza, 10 damage from the Pyroblast. He's only 5 points of damage and a couple turns away from sealing this game out.
Yeah.
So that's Zalae's game plan. He just needs to figure out how does he stall until that point. And he bought himself a lot of time by just playing that secret there and bluffing that counterspell.
Yeah, and it is still a lot. Like, it can go really fast with him. Bloodlust just, like, he cannot take too much time and needs to definitely remove this board.
Yeah. So you think he's got to go for the Flame Strike this turn?
I think it's the way to go here, maybe the Flame Strike, yeah. I'm thinking have like a Meteor can do enough, but there is quite great positioning from Neirea around that, yeah, it's just not hitting much.
What about a Volcanic Potion this turn? And then you just ping off the Flame Tongue, remove like just enough pressure that way, try and get a bigger Flame Strike in the future.
And then you want to go with the Arcane Intellect or maybe Harrison to connect with it. I feel this a little safer.
Yeah, he's just going to go for the full board clear here.
Going with the ping is, I mean, it saves 5 damage, kind of big.
It also makes it so you have to live an extra turn before you can Alexstrasza your opponent, kind of.
Yeah. But I think Zalae is not really looking forward yet to Alex him. I think he's just following the defensive game plan.
Just trying to exhaust Neirea out of resources,
yeah. And maybe healing with Alex.
There's a lot of 5/5s.
That's an evolving 5.
That's not a bad evolve.
No, and...
But the Meteor sets up the Volcanic Potion very nicely.
Yeah, they work really together on this 5/5 heavy board from Neirea.
So Zalae can actually clear every single minion. It's fairly expensive. He has to use 2 like prime removal cards for the matchup.
Yeah, but imagine if one of the glyphs will like not be able to pick up this Volcanic Potion or the Flame Strike will be so difficult for him.
What are the odds of Glyph picking up an AoE card?
Well,
he kept both glyphs off the mulligan, so he was very confident that these glyphs would be important, and they ended up being so.
Well, they are actually pretty high. I mean, not necessarily the Volcanic Potion and the Flame Strike. They are like probably the best two.
Sure.
But there are also like Blizzards around,
all the Frost cards,
all the Freeze cards. Meteor, it's kind of alright. So
sure. Yeah, that's interesting. Not a lot of people, I think, would be able to identify, hey, Glyph's just one of the best cards in this matchup because you can get so much AoE out of it.
I think it's also a little bit smart read from Zalae on, like, this matchup might be actually bad for me. I'm having so many dead cards in the hand. Let's keep these cards and see if I can get a little bit high roll. Like a high roll on these AoEs that are so key for him.
You got to put yourself in a position for it. And wow, the second Doppelgangster. And Zalae is just fresh out of AoE.
Yeah, well, he has his own Flame Strike still in the deck.
Okay.
Getting a charge minion in the play. Oh man, the Pyromancer. The Divine Shield is gone.
The Arcanologist can either draw Counterspell or Ice Block.
Yeah, seems that you might just want to do it first in general here. Because Arcane Intellect, what do you really want to draw into now? There's nothing
nothing on 5 mana that he can use to really stop this board. He needs to find board stall to try and get enough time to get this Alex down before he gets popped.
And that's the problem for Zalae. Like, he has nothing in his deck. He's running Harrison, Bully, Antonidas, a lot more top-ended version, and already found more AoE than he generally plays in his deck.
Yeah, yeah. If he's able to maybe get the counterspell up, if there is no way for Neirea to break the counterspell, he could live to be able to Alex.
He might look for like a Medivh's Valet to connect with a ping. Seems kinda alright. Bloodlust actually killing the Pyromancer here.
It's kind of funny. Yeah, so you don't even have to ping it.
That one you're gonna trade it.
Yeah. 13 damage on the board for Neirea.
Yeah, and I think Neirea is really looking forward here to pop Zalae in the way he can. He needs 3 additional damage. Well, there's a little problem. It has to be bloodless.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a big effort to pop Zalae here.
And if Zalae could clear the board behind this, like set up a counterspell so that, or an ice block, and then clear the board, and then Alex himself back up to 15, he still has a way he can go for the Outlast Neirea plan.
If he can pick it up and put also Zalae at 1, the patches in the hand might also help a little bit to have that charge from the hand.
Then that beats the counterspell.
I think for Neirea it's too important to do it here. I think he has to do it.
But he's expending the patches as well.
Okay.
I would have liked to see him hold on to that.
Yeah, but Goldie even like put him exactly to the amount he wanted. Maybe
Okay, yeah, that's the problem. Well, yeah, could have put him to 1.
Yeah.
Could have put him to 1, had patches in hand to be able to beat this counterspell.
Raiding more on board with the patches. Yeah, the patches is definitely a little...
I don't know. If Zalae can like freeze the board, set up a counterspell, or freeze the board, set up an ice block. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to, though, but...
No, and also Alexstrasza healing here. It's just, I mean, in theory he's not dead. I mean, he's at 1.
He's at 1 again, yeah.
And that is, for now, the only play I see. He can go for a Firelance Portal, see if that something happens, but there's still so much damage he's facing on board.
Right, and even if you get a taunt out of Firelance Portal, you have to be afraid of Devolve coming from Neirea's side. Hasn't been played yet.
I cannot see anything else than Alexstrasza here. But it's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. You're staying alive, though. Just by the skin of your teeth.
I bring life.
Yeah, getting there. Like, now Neirea have 1 damage off. Having some ways to maybe pick up the lethal here. Going actually for, not for the taunt draw, but maybe hoping for a Jade Claws, Jade Lightning. Something around.
Well, Firefly. So he wants to be able to get a board that's large enough that sticks around after Flame Strike happens, right? None of these minions live outside of Flame Strike range anyway, so adding them to the board doesn't really help. Going for the Totem maybe could get Healing Totem, which could allow one of your minions to stick after...
Yeah, maybe just wanting to fully get the draw going. Knows there is a Flame Strike, but Flame Strike Bullet maybe...
I mean, it could be drawn for Zalae. He still has the one from his deck.
Is it the Giant... Actually, 9 mana, it's not too bad. It's all right. I think he's going for a really aggressive approach here. I like it.
Yeah, you got to do this.
At least putting him to 4, but I like to go to 1.
If Zalae picks up the Flame Strike, he can fully clear this board.
Well, Zalae's...
He needs to roll like Earth Elemental, then devolve into taunts. So he's got a chance. Not a good one.
Ooh. Well, that helps with trading, but he's just facing too much damage. Can trade 3 minions away, but 5 damage is left. And second, Ice Block called help. Counterspell, not doing it.
Yeah. The Shaman from Neirea, able to get off to a quick win to start the series. He had the Doppelgangster Evolve combo twice that game.
Yeah, and that's definitely a combo to like outvalue such an version that Zalae is running. Not too much removal. It went really close on the board, so it looked kind of still fine for Zalae. But yeah, some of these tech cards that are gonna pay off maybe later in the series, not paying off in the first game.
I think the coolest part of that series was just Neirea's mulligan. Kept Doppelgangster Evolve out of the mulligan.
Yeah.
That was sick. Worked out for him. But we're going to go to a quick interview right now so you can learn a little bit more about Neirea and who he is as a player.
Neirea, играю за Team Liquid. Я просыпаюсь, кушаю, проверяю mail, Twitter и так далее, всю сеть. Дальше смотрю стрим, и потом стримлю сам, если стримлю. Или вместо стрима играю турнир. Потом после турнира либо во что-то играю, либо смотрю стрим опять и ложусь спать. Я мало играю в ладдере по сравнению с другими проигроками. То есть у меня нет какого-то там прям грайнд, задротишь до того момента, пока не возьмешь ранг. Типа, ну возьму и возьму, не возьму, не возьму. Все равно не так много очков нужно, чтобы квалифицироваться на прелимы и так далее. А ради просто игры в ладере смысла не вижу играть, потому что это не помогает в турнире никак. Обычно тилт происходит, когда ты стримишь, потому что ты к этому относишься более серьезно, к тому, что ты делаешь, ты затрагиваешь аудиторию, ты рассказываешь, что делаешь. И поэтому, когда что-то происходит, начинаешь, конечно, бэйби-рейджить. Но с опытом приходит, что нужно проще к этому относиться и больше думать аналитически, оценивать шансы на игру. Типа, если ты замисплеил и проиграл игру, неважно, насколько везучим твой соперник был. Если ты замисплеил, значит твоя вина, а не то, что ему повезло. Я не думаю, что во время какой-нибудь игры я был прям слишком вообще очень зол. Было, что расстроен. Было такое, что я думал, как так? Там он задровал ту карту. Но на следующий день уже это не особо влияло. То есть на настроение никак. Быстро проходит. Осенью прошлого года, точнее, в прошлом году, вообще в 2016 у меня не было вообще никаких результатов. Во всех прилимах не заходил то ли лайнап, то ли просто как-то не шло. Не моя мета была. И я думал, типа, уже переключаться на что-то другое, если не пойдет на ВСГ. Или там с другими турнирами. Если не пойдет за пару турниров, то уже буду переключаться. Но пошло, и я рад, что не закончил раньше. Но, как я говорил, я мало играю. Я играю только, когда нужно играть. И в целом, в основном я ладдер играю либо в конец сезона, последние несколько дней, либо на стриме. По-другому никак. То есть мотивация у меня игры прям такой, что прям играть и играть нет. Но есть мотивация, когда турнир подходит и нужно готовиться к нему, тогда появляется большая мотивация выиграть их. Но мой самый большой фан, конечно же, мама, а по-другому и не может быть. Я думаю, что другие фанаты просто болеют ко мне как за игрока, правильно? А тут вдвойне, как и за сына, и как и за игрока. Я бы сказал, что из всех игроков у меня есть... То есть мне нравятся те игроки, которые думают по-другому или видят вещи по-другому, чем я. То есть Калента тот же. Мне нравится с ним общаться именно и смотреть, как он играет, потому что он немного по-другому видит Hearthstone и вообще игры. Поэтому мы как-то дополняем в Global Games друг друга. В чем смысл Hearthstone? Многие называют его тупо рандом игрой и так далее, все зависит от везения, но дело в том, что Hearthstone — это как ты манипулируешь везением. В плане, у каждого рандома есть свой шанс, правильно? И работа игрока профессионального увеличить эти шансы до того момента, пока он не станет максимальным. И за счет этого твой винрейт поднимается достаточно высоко по сравнению с каким-то просто средненьким игроком в легенде.
StarLadder I-League StarSeries Season 3 finalist, Neirea.
So, back here, and Neirea, he took the World Series going 1-0. Always great to see a little bit more insight, and your biggest fan, your mom. That's to be great.
Isn't that everybody's biggest fan?
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Everybody's got
your mom is also
right?
Your mom is also pretty supportive.
Yeah. If you tag me on Twitter in any tweets, my mom will favorite it. You can try it right now at home. Works 100% of the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great support.
It's insane. People will write like awful things about me on Twitter and tag me, and my mom's like, "Oh, that must be a joke. They're being sarcastic," and favorite it.
Oh wow, the positivity.
The
I
positivity.
love it.
She loves it. She just sees everything in a golden light, and it's all fantastic. So you need that. You need that upbeat attitude about it. It's great.
It's amazing. And also, yeah, for Neirea, just talking about that more, but also, it has been also so paying off for him this year. Going now twice qualifying for HGT, and now just the world time already in StarLadder, here top 4. So lately, it really paid off the way Neirea went for the more tournament approach over the ladder approach. And now going into the next marriage, it's Quest Rogue against Druid.
Quest Rogue versus Druid. Now, typically speaking, you can kind of view Jade as a quest that takes about 3 times longer than the Rogue quest. So the Rogue really gets off the ground running, completing the quest faster, getting the larger minions out. While the Jades are still, 2, 2, 3, 3, the Quest Rogue oftentimes has 5, 5 minions, which just run him over.
Yeah, I think we can both agree that this matchup is just really Quest Rogue favorite against the Jade Druid. Maybe some tech decisions are like a little bit making it harder, but still the Quest Rogue archetype against the Jade Druid archetype is just really in the favor of the Quest Rogue.
One of the really interesting things about this matchup, though, is some cards that you wouldn't think to be too impactful can be insanely powerful. A Tar Creeper is actually really strong in this matchup because the Rogue doesn't have any way over the top to do anything around a taunt. So if you put a Tar Creeper down, your 1/1 Jade Golem and 2/2 Jade Golem can't really be interacted with, and you can actually push a lot of damage with them because they can't get hero powered down or deckhanded into.
It has been a great inclusion, not only in that matchup, but also against Mage. Often against Mage, you lose when you're taking some damage in the early game, and then they can burn you down. Tar Creeper, great to stop that. One card that you are not so great happy with is drawing patches.
Right. You don't really want to be completing the quest on patches. It's great post-quest, though, so it's not the worst thing in the world to draw. He wants to find, you know, any one-drop with a battle cry off this Mimic Pod, then he'll have 2 copies of it, and then he can complete the quest utilizing Shadow Step and Brewmaster.
Every one-man, I mean, like a Firefly could be a great pickup. Even those Engineer, it's a lot, or even an...
Neirea's off to a quick start. He's already got up to 4 mana.
Mimic Pot or Tar Creeper, really interesting decision from do I want to play on board or do I just want to drop earlier to just get my quest one turn earlier finished.
You want to go for the quest, no doubt about that. The Tar Creeper, it would be a good card for the Druid to protect the early golems, but not for the quest rogue.
Kinda good draw, the Ignorance Elemental, because it will make the Elemental crisp, but you don't want to draw 2 of these.
Yeah, it's really slow. You do not want it to be completing quests. With this hand, you definitely wanted any 1-drop. These are the 4 clunkiest cards in all of Zalae's deck.
Yeah. Minion-wise, they are for sure.
He needed any 1-drop. Now he's stuck with the question, how does he want to complete this quest?
I think the Ignorance Elemental kind of still wants to get placed because you're only having 2 bounce effects. So with the Brewmaster and the Shadow Step, the element that you get 2 elementals really helpful, guaranteeing your quest.
And you hold back the patches. I would say you want it to be a 5/5 charger later on, so you just drop the Igneous Elemental here and say go.
Yeah, I don't really feel the need of playing it defensive with like a Tar Creeper, even it being contesting the board well.
Yeah, I'd like to see him play Igneous Elemental this turn, setting up to play 2 Fireflies the second Igneous Elemental the next turn. So you can work towards trying to get that quest out with prep as soon as possible.
Yeah. Looking more also from the Neirea perspective, having quite a nice early start. I mean, he went Jade Idol with the Wild Rope, connecting into the Forge of Rage Spirit, and getting some resources there also in the hand might really help him out. It's definitely what he needs. Like, this is what he needs. And once the Jades are maybe stronger than 5/5, they can also get here and there some trades going.
Being able to get a Primordial Drake out really early is going to be super clutch because Zalae's going to be trying to complete his quest with Flame Elementals, which are 1/2s, which all die to the Battle Cry of the Primordial Drake. So when he tries to extend those wide on the board, that's something he's going to have to be worried about.
You always want to play a little around Swipe, but yeah, then Primordial Drake's being such a great clear. Taking it so I would like to not trade the Ignorance Element. Every time, there are real little cases where you want to kill it. It's just, you deny the quest mechanics so well by just not trading it away.
Right. Do not want that quest being finished.
Another such a slow draw for Zalae, really not getting any part of the quest going. We have seen him doing the quest before with Ignorance Elemental, and I don't think it's gonna happen this game, but yeah, it's...
Yeah, I imagine he's not completing the quest on Igneous Elemental. No. The Vanish is actually a decent card to get in this situation, because it's going to allow you to stall the game down for more time going forward, which he kind of needs. As great as his opening hand was, it's quickly turned into something nasty, horrible. So having that Vanish to slow down the game once the Jades start piling onto the field is going to be nice. But for now, I think you just want to set up to complete the quest on the Igneous Elemental.
Yeah, just turning away here a little bit could already help. Connecting it with a Trio, maybe I'll go for the Redagger up together with it. Just seems all right. He's just not having anything to really bounce here that makes him happy at all.
He may be afraid of Neirea's ability to deny the Igneuses from dying again by taking, by trading off his own minion. So that's why he's daggering the face and redaggering.
Yeah.
This way, the Neirea would have to use like Wrath on his own 2/3 to kill it, for example. Otherwise, he could just run it into the other Igneous Elemental, leaving both at 2-1.
That's actually really can actually be really important. And ooh, yeah, pickup kind of helping here for the cover in Neirea. He had some other plays that were alright, but this definitely making early on the board to be strong. And well, more of these. Yeah, tech cards.
All the tech cards.
Yeah, the target.
That's why Neirea did not ban Zalae's quest rogue. He's got a lot of anti-aggro tech, and he was hedging his bets around Zalae, drawing some of his anti-aggro tech, slowing him down. So you gotta imagine he's pleased with that result.
Yeah, well, but for Zalae now, he can finally start to use his Shadow Star Brewmaster mechanics to finish the quest with the elementals. Definitely trading this 2-1 away. Probably also trading a 2-3 away to maybe just go already with the elementals in that way.
Well, he's got to be afraid of the Primordial Drake. So however he chooses to extend these elementals, Primordial Drake's a concern. Hand size is a concern right now. Got to get one card out of his hand before he trades in.
Might be a little bit. Ooh, it's going for the patches already here.
Kill the 3-1 so he can use the. So he can clear off the Jade Spirit, or maybe he clears the Ion. No.
A lot of respect there because it could be a 5-5 next turn, and now yeah, just using it for a little bit better trade. But I think Zalae is gonna really overextend this board maybe a little bit here with the quest. No, is actually going.
I like this. Now he can play 2 Flame Elementals next turn, which then uses 2 of his 7 mana, so he has 5 left. Gets the quest in hand, plays the quest for 5 mana. So it perfectly hedges around this Primordial Drake. Lines up very nicely for him.
Yeah, but also I think Neirea is still kind of happy how this all went, because tradings still feel great for him, and well, Zalae definitely looking forward to now just finish the quest. How other plays possible? Maybe concerning. I think it's just always going for the quest here.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The quest is the play here.
Go for Shadow Step, but then only gets 5 attack in and doesn't do anything here. So
yeah,
it's probably just gonna be and the Shadow Step is just great later.
Right.
It's gonna be really good next turn. Maybe he has to finish next turn. We don't know how the board is gonna develop, especially Zalae. So I just maybe he's thinking of playing like 3 minions here in a way. It's only concern. Nah, it's just nuts. Yeah, looks pretty good. You also still for 7 mana you are playing 2 5/5s.
It's not bad. Wow, he's thinking about using the Vanish.
Oh, it's Vanish.
Interesting. Why do you think he chooses to go for this? What is the setup here? So next turn he can complete the quest and play out. He has 3 mana to work with.
He's saving some lives, and maybe he sees like now he can already like charge minions away.
Guess he was afraid of the damage Neirea could produce. If he took 8 from that board,
like I think Vanish is just a great card against. It's a good card, I think, against Jade Druid. So
very aggressive.
Having a little double feelings about it, but we'll see how it turns out here. Still will be able to finish the quest, but has to pay 5 mana for the quest. Well, it's a little bit. Just doesn't make much more options than possible. Wanna trade this Auctioneer away, in my opinion.
Yeah, you gotta take care of the Auctioneer. You can ignore the 5/5 though. It's not too big of a deal.
Yeah, I like to go with the deckhand, but maybe bounce the deckhand because you have like a 5 as a 5/1. Such a nice value trade, but with bouncing it back, just
play around AOE, hero power even, you know. Yeah, I would love to see it bounce back so you can use it in the future with other bouncers.
I'd like to also just connect here with the Flame Mantle, or maybe just a Hungry Crab, so you have more. You can actually play the Tiny Fin next turn, a little bit more freedom. It's the only thing he's gonna eat with his Hungry Crab is his own minion. That is a 5/5, and it's the last thing I want to see.
Yeah, there are no Murlocs in the Jade Druid for Neirea. He cut those in this iteration. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. I think the Hungry Crab should come down over the Flame Elemental.
Okay, actually charging the 5/5 away with the Hungry Crab
he's gonna go face with it, yeah. There's no reason to trade here, but yeah. So now he's not gonna have the the charger to bounce back, but he does have the Biofin Tidehunter, which he can use with the bounce effect to create an additional 5/5 for 2 mana.
So interesting also, some tech cards there for Neirea too. We are seeing about Pyromancers also having an inclusion of Acolyte. We have seen it a little bit here and there. Makes some of the spells quite useful and a little bit stronger AoE clear, again, especially against the Shamans. It's kind of that spell damage swipe idea where you have like 2 damage on a whole board.
Well, he needs more than spell damage swipe. 5/5s are big.
He's having a strong board himself too. I mean, the 6/6, the 7/7s. It's definitely the ways where,
yeah,
like no, it can be way more one-sided for the quest rogue, and Neirea is kind of getting on board. And if you are having these Jades being over the stats of a 5/5, sometimes there is a little bit more room. They cannot trade, get away. The trades are just not so appealing. Bounces are harder because value trades are harder.
Right. And Zalae's under pressure. There's 15 damage on board, so he needs to close out this game rather quickly because Neirea's minions, as you said, have the health total that they can take a trade, stay alive, and threaten to kill Zalae the turn after. So on the following turn, when Neirea plays, if he plays more Jade minions, he'll most likely be setting up lethal on Zalae. So he kind of just has to go all in, but all in from Jade. Or from Quest Rogues, pretty good.
Yeah, full board of 5/5s,
yeah.
right?
So is Neirea dead? That's the big question. He can trade off.
Pyromancer Swipe is kind of useful here.
Yeah, it's better than
because
the Drake for clearing.
It kills the 5/2 and it kills a 5/5.
Yeah.
Or 7/5.
Leaving only 3 5/5s left for Zalae. But that's the best he can do, right? So Primordial Drake's a little bit safer because you get a 4/8 and kill 1 less 5/5. But the problem with the Primordial Drake is you kill your own 7/7.
Yeah, that's why you kill your 6/6 and your 7/7.
Yeah.
With the Pyro, you still kill also a little bit of yourself.
Yeah, you kill the 6/6 at least.
Yeah. Definitely being a little trickier for Neirea. But
this is the most defensive line he could have taken, just trying to set up the clears for the future turns and stay alive.
That's a charge. Close, but not there yet for Zalae. Able to connect 11 damage in the face. Yeah, well.
And extend. Look at all those 5/5. That Firefly is 2 5/5s, Flame Elemental another 5/5. He's just repopulated this entire board.
Like the way of trading here because you're so strong with the Firefly and the Flame Elemental also going on the board.
Yeah, I can't imagine one card from Neirea besides like Yogg-Saron that he could play to stop this, and that's not even in his deck.
Like Innervate, and you are having an option to Drake with Swipe, but yeah, it's
only 3 across the board.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Double swipe with Pyro?
With Pyro.
That's each swipe does 2 across the board.
Yeah, he can like target 2 minions.
Yeah, he's still
but then
gonna
there are
leave
still
2 left.
2 left. There are still 2 left.
Yeah, he needed I don't even know. I guess he could nourish and try and find out, but
yeah, armor, like maybe getting some. Nah. If he will have an armor card together in an Innervate, like the skills, maybe he could buff his Pyro to have one additional AoE.
Sure.
And that will actually do it. But
so if he gets if he nourishes into Innervate, Earthen Scales.
Yeah. Or,
can he do that?
Well.
Then he can go Pyro.
No, he needed it here. He needed one piece already here. Otherwise, he's trying.
All right, let's see. He needs an Earthen Scales and an Innervate.
And an Innervate, right?
And then he can get there, right? There's an Innervate.
All right.
He targeted. He got the Earthen Scales.
I think he got the skills. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Innervate swipe, but Pyro dies. Doesn't get the last proc. He needed 2 scales.
He needed 2 scales and not 2 Innervates. But that was actually way closer than I expected there.
1 card away. If that was not a second Innervate, but instead a second Earthen Scales.
Wow.
He could have cleared that.
That was a great series because it was way closer than sometimes the matches is turning out. We saw some ways that the Jade would call get on board, but yeah, Quest Rogue still taking it.
Just Barely. Questrook was able to take it because of that clunky draw that Zalae had. But we're going to check in with Zalae. You can learn a little bit more about him in this interview piece.
Hi, I'm Zalae. I play for Team Luminosity. A normal day for me, I wake up, either I go to the gym or I swim in the morning, kind of depending. Then maybe I play an Open Cup if I haven't already won one for the month. Beyond that, I don't really have a usual daily schedule. It depends. Like some days I'm casting, most days I'm streaming at some point. And, you know, I try and find some personal time in there when I can. The amount of time I spend playing Hearthstone a day is often pretty small, like maybe 4 hours or less, but the amount of Hearthstone-related content I'm consuming is probably more like 8+ hours in a day. Hearthstone's definitely an emotional game for me. I get tilted when things go badly, but I try to, you know, keep myself in check and keep the tilt to a minimum. I try to keep a relatively poker face. I mean, I have a very expressive face. So literally speaking, you can see my reaction on my face a lot of times, but I try to kind of be prepared mentally for the worst case scenario so it doesn't get to me too much. But Hearthstone can be a very frustrating game no matter how well you handle it. If I have a long loss streak and I want to keep my cool, one thing I'll do is just try and get some kind of workout. Like, it depends on how long the loss streak is. If it's just a few games, like, life goes on, I just deal with it. Another tactic that works for me sometimes is just getting angry, not like at my opponent, but at the idea of myself making mistakes kind of thing. Just get super frustrated and try and channel that frustration into focusing on the game as much as possible and being like constantly analyzing what's going to happen next and what should I be doing. I'm really not remotely interested in quitting Hearthstone. I'm pretty happy with it. Like, if I were to stop playing Hearthstone competitively, it would probably be to cast Hearthstone right now. I've had a number of mentors. I think the most notable ones were from age like 10 to 18. I was a tournament chess player, and so I had some chess coaches, and they were really influential in my development, not just as a competitor, but also as a person. Like, one of them got me into running when I was like a little bit chubby as a teenager and that kind of thing. But they definitely influenced my mindset into all sorts of competitive gaming stuff, not just chess then, but also, you know, later Magic and now Hearthstone. What's the point of Hearthstone? Well, for me, Hearthstone is a job, first of all, to be honest, and it's a job that I enjoy. I don't enjoy the traveling aspect, but I like the competitive aspect, and I like that it gives me something to think about. It's interesting. That's really what I'm looking for in a game and in a job. Something interesting that keeps me engaged, something to think about. And Hearthstone does that wonderfully, and it meets my financial needs, so I love Hearthstone.
StarLadder I-League StarSeries Season 3 finalist, Zalae.
Welcome back to StarLadder. We are in the middle of a series here. Zalae up against Neirea.
Little, you're up against NA still for us, right? A little bit. There's actually a lot of like with all four different regions. If you also Neirea considering more from the Russian, Ukraine part, we having Radu here.
The good part of Europe in Hearthstone, yeah.
Oh yeah, you're not liking it. There was a little.
Isn't that what people are saying now? Isn't that a thing? I thought everyone says, you know, like the Ukraine, you know, Russian side is the true reason why Europe has been doing so well in the past.
They have been doing really good.
They have been.
They have been doing really good. We're also like
BlizzCon
last year.
But
so, and also we have from China, of course, also
China
PK. So all the regions are still there, really representative.
Yeah, and the sole representative from NA left standing, Zalae. He likes to get angry.
Likes to get angry?
Channel that anger. That's what he said in the interview. Whenever he misplays or anything like that, he gets really angry, turns green, and plays perfectly.
But I love what he said at the end. I love Hearthstone. It's great to hear that there are still so many, like, he has been around for quite some time, but he's still really enjoying the game, passionate about it, and it's great to see. And here now also going with his, well, people will say Murloc or mid-range Paladin. I would almost say Tekadin. There's a lot going on. Yeah. What's all going on there, 5-Ed?
He's got a lot of top end. So the idea with this Paladin deck is you have all of the standard mid-range Paladin or Murloc Paladin early game, but then the curve just keeps extending so you can win the control matchups. He has, he's got the Onyxia at the way top end. He has the Vine Cleaver in there. He's got Black Knight included. So just
Yeah.
lots of top-end gas and some tech cards that help out winning control matchups.
A lot of one-ups around, and yeah, indeed, Onyxia over the Primeval Drake, so way more aggressive approach there, while you're still having the option from the Curator to draw the Dragon, and way more aggressive Dragon with the Onyxia. Also some scary 4-drops, of course, with the Blessing. It's definitely a deck that is playing a little bit better from ahead than a standard Murloc Paladin, maybe a little worse from behind.
Right.
No consecration, these kind of
if
things.
you're versing control decks, you're never behind.
No.
They don't try and take the board, so you're always playing
Yeah.
from ahead. That's why these tech choices work out in his targeting strategy, but is really bad against aggro.
Yeah.
Really bad.
But against Jadruid, I think it's definitely what you want to do.
Yeah.
And
It's
because
fantastic.
Jadruid being a little slow on board, of course, always. And Neirea having a little slow start here by hero powering and not great follow-up yet. Zalae, well, alright here, because starting with 2 Murlocs is already great.
Oh, it's
Rockpool
fantastic.
Hunter
Yeah.
is so powerful.
It's actually the
highest win rate.
highest win rate card. Yeah, I've been saying it, but it is. It's the Vilefin Inquisitor is the highest win rate card in Hearthstone right now. Just that Murloc hero power and how much synergy it has in this Paladin deck. It by itself kind of makes the Murloc Paladin archetype possible.
And also Black Knight, yeah, so many additional tech cards that, well, I think especially Warrior with the Harrison, with the Black Knight, like that's the main. But Black Knight finding a lot of value around in the meta.
It's not bad against all the Primordial Drakes, and in this matchup in particular, it's not bad against the Jade Behemoth.
Yeah, and there's has a lot been a lot of Stonehill defenders around. Shamans are running Think from below.
Spike Ridge Steed
came really up. StarSeries, like. I think it's a great meta call from Zalae to actually have a Black Knight to counter it.
I'm surprised Black Knight doesn't see more play than it does right now, because there are so many taunts in the metagame.
There, and Zalae going for a really aggressive approach. He's going a little off curve.
Well, how does Druid kill this? He needs double Wrath, or otherwise this is sticking around. And he's pushing a lot of damage. But yeah, you're right. He does have to go off curve. He has to expend the coin, which is meaning his next 2 turns are hero power, unless he top decks something worth playing.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I was maybe wouldn't mind playing a Murloc there, either connecting the Terram at 5 or coining Black Knight at 5. Yeah.
Now it looks really awkward.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it was last turn also not so ideal, but then you could maybe split the targets a little bit here and there. But now also you can still. Yeah, maybe you want to just. I'm not sure if you. Still thinking trading Phase, but Phase seems really appealing here.
Right, I don't think you ever trade this 6/6. Your opponent's going to run their minions in, at least one of them to help complement when killing it.
The only benefit you could get there is like, yeah, instead of the 2/3, it's a 2/2. So.
Which I think 6 health away from your opponent's worth that sacrifice.
Okay, well, at least something, and 3/3 body, but.
Yeah, I think it's worth playing to disrupt your opponent's curve, right?
Your next turns are so good, and if one minion survives, well, it's possible because Jadruid plays a lot of their own minions, and if Neirea will just drop his own minion, then the Sparked Steed has potential too.
Exactly. Yeah, because he has to use the hero power if he wants to be able to clear this War Leader. So it impedes his turn. He's already played 1 Jade Spirit. There's only 3 4-drops in the deck, 2 Jade Spirits and a Fandral. So if he doesn't have one of those other 2 4-drops, it looks like Neirea's not developing if he wants to kill the War Leader.
Neirea definitely would like to fully trade the board here, just because he knows what's in Zalae's deck. He knows there's a Black Knight, he knows there is Tarim, he knows there is Spiked Street. Turn 4 was just past the last turn, so there have to be signals also to Neirea that something is going on. But just no opportunity anyway to clear the board at all.
I'd love to see him develop the Fandral here. Get rid of that War Leader, slow that down.
Yeah, I actually like Fandral.
Zalae does not play any True Silver Champions, and he only plays 1 Blessing of Kings. Fandral's a 3/5, that's a 1/1 Murloc.
Yeah.
So the ways that Zalae can actually trade up with that Fandral
is Tarim.
Tarim, and that's it.
Yeah, it's Tarim.
Yeah, so the Fandral is super strong on this board and threatens to allow Neirea to Fandral Nourish the following turn.
That's been also getting a little bit in the series before, where, yeah, you see it in these kind of tournaments, in the tournament play a lot, where, yeah, this information can be so key. I saw it on Sivka, I just played the Gadgets and turn 6 and just knew
there's no True Silver.
He knew there was nothing that could go wrong, and here a little bit the same, where, yeah, there's only one punish is there in the hand, and I think it just has to come out. It's too scary. And, yeah, Black Knight not doing anything where it has good potential, and same for Steed.
Yeah, you just get so far ahead on board. You get a 3-7 ahead on board, which is just a much better base to land the Spike Ridge Steed on as well, because Druid has no hard removal. So if you can just ramp that thing's health all the way up there, get that 5-13 Terram with the Steed on it, that'll do some work.
Let me think. Taking his time here, Zalae, because yeah, like Terram, it can be so great in the late game sometimes against Jade. Just once the Jade is so strong on the board, just making them weak, but it just has to come down here. Also Fendril now here, like a Norwich, will just completely be devastating for Zalae.
Yeah, I wonder what he's thinking about here. He's taking a really long time. He's trying to figure out what I guess is in Neirea's hand. Why did he play Fandril there? Why was his best play Hero Power? He knows none of those cards are Wrath, because Fandril Wrath would have been the play instead of Fandril Hero Power.
What a juicy Black Knight, right? I mean, there is Primal Drake, but I think also considering how well the time is trading here with the 3-3, if you want to take it, you can't even consider face there, but the Black Knight connecting seems really appealing to me. Really appealing.
You can also try and develop the Vine Cleaver. One swipe has been used, so getting that weapon online as soon as possible is very powerful because it has 3 charges. So it takes a long time to actually disperse its power. And then you can save the Black Knight for the Primordial Drake, and the recruits coming out on the field actually bait the Primordial Drake. So I actually like the Vine Cleaver.
Okay, it's fair enough. Even Creator is like not out of the mind. Like you can take a slow approach, drawing a lot, getting all your cards together. Because yeah, Jade cannot do too much. There are a lot of options here for Zalae.
The Vine Cleaver gets super punished by the Gluttonous Ooze, though.
Yeah.
So I'd say the least punishable play is the Black Knight. If you feel like you're...
Also the most proactive play.
Yeah, the most
being
proactive.
a Druid also at 14 lives. Neirea is only running 1 Feral Rage. It's a big thing. So yeah, and that Feral Rage has been used offensive. So no Feral Rage anymore in the deck for Neirea. Can still get the skills, but they are not generating much armor yet. Okay. Picking up something for the additional curve, always.
He's dead.
Yeah, he is.
No Innervate Hero Power to play around the Vine Cleaver. Vine Cleaver's just going to end this game.
Yeah.
11 damage. Not the most exciting finish in the world. The Jade Druid never really able to get anything going. Neirea was playing from behind the whole game. The Paladin curve just kind of got to him.
Yeah, and there we talked about early in the series that Jade might be a really good deck here against Control. Well, Zalae is not running that full Control lineup. I mean, yeah, the Quest Rogue is already good in general, but this is just a fine matchup for his Paladin. And I think he's really happy that he could be able to queue this up because it was one of the matchups he needed for his Paladin.
Yeah, that's one of the better matchups for the Paladin across the board. Zalae's got an anti-control mid-rangey lineup, and so...
It seems to also be better overall. Like, it's just a strong lineup that can do really well around. And it's also Neirea having this a little bit, I have to say. That he has, like, yeah, with the Shaman, I mean, it's just a more aggressive Shaman. Warrior, it's kind of tempo warrior nowadays. So, and with the Freeze Mage there into, he is kind of good all around. And hopefully we will see some more great games between it. Now Zalae taking the lead, though.
Yeah, he's up 2-1 in the series. He still has his Gunther Mage remaining and his Jade Shaman. And the big thing here is he said himself, day one, I did not play that Jade Shaman correctly. I need to practice that more. And he had a day off between, you know, day one and the finals day here today. So he's saving that Shaman for last, but that's going to be the scary deck for him. See if he was able to actually, you know, improve on himself and really nail that one down.
And Neirea was actually saying the same. I have to improve my Warrior.
Right.
I really am not happy or satisfied with how I played my Warrior. Definitely had some shaky moments, was up 3-0. Could have gotten 2 series almost. But went to 3-2, still got to take the series, but was definitely a little bit shaky. And now going up for the Mage, where we have seen the Mage from Zalae before, where some of the tech cards might not have been paying around. Well, this is a matchup.
Yeah, this is where they're fantastic. Burgly Bully to get extra coins. And what do you need those coins for, you ask? You need them for your Antonitis, which he also has text in there. So he's going to be able to create a lot of additional burn. He has Medivh, Antonitis, Alexstrasza, Pyroblast.
Yeah, and also the additional tech cards like the removal cards, Meteor and Polymorph, are just 2 good cards against Stormborn.
Harrison Jones in there as well for additional draw.
Acolyte for additional draw, Seen also be drawn. Pyrus, it's so much value in this deck, and now talking about this, Zalae has to be like feeling really good in this matchup, and now also thinking a little bit out for Neirea. He knows it too, but what for him might be the winning play is just he's not gonna win the armor up battle. Like he's not gonna win that one. I think he's gonna.
He's got to win the race, right?
So he needs to
kill
finish
his
the
opponent.
quest fast, and where a lot of times against Gunter Mage, the warrior takes the approach of playing it slow, armor up, and remove the Medivh's weapon. I think this time Neirea just has to go for the quest.
He's on the aggressive plan. There's no way he can out-armor the value in Zalae's deck. He's going to need to try and save his board clears for after the quest is completed, so he can kind of translate, you know, Whirlwind, Sleep with the Fishes into clearing a board and allowing the Rag Shot to connect. So he's probably going to have to gamble a lot of his life total in the early game, disrespecting boards, not clearing as much as he would like to then be able to turn those clear cards into burn at the late stage of the game.
Yeah, and all these deck cards from Zalae also counterspell. Like every card that he changed feels like, yeah, great against warrior, great against warrior. So a lot of tools here for him. Always great. Still, like War X might not really sound as like the best card against like a Medivh Mage, but the Mana Worms, Arcanolist, like also the Acolyte, the Medivh's Valid, like everything just has 3 HP.
Right. Yeah, you're able to shut it down quite nicely. 3 HP is kind of the sweet spot in today's metagame. A lot of Paladin players playing Rallying Blade because that's the case. They pay 3 mana for a War X.
Was a long time more on the 4 HP slot, but now it really changed.
Yeah, after the rotation, things changed. Yeah. Flame Waker rotated out. Tomb Pillager's gone.
Yeah, Warrior still has it a little bit with the Berserkers and Cultists around, but for the rest, it's really more the 3 HP with the Murlocs and with the Mage around.
Yeah.
And Shaman, all having all the totems 0-3.
HP,
so you see that it makes a lot of more. We see it now with 2 months more in Ungur, that now people are really figuring that out and taking in different cards just because of that.
Yeah. Harrison Jones is available if he wants to expend the coin. Zalae really would prefer to save the coin for the Medivh if possible, so that's the hesitation here. But all of the other plays in his hand are pretty bad on this current board, whereas the Harrison Jones kind of contests the minion nicely. So he is going to sacrifice that coin to be able to do that. A little regretfully, because he would prefer to have it connect with the Medivh, but it's just so good on the board that he's changing up his game plan.
Neirea also running in Harrison, so Medivh is going to be like a little bit tricky in a way of, yeah, do I want to give it away? Zalae might just feel so good in the game already. A little bit annoying board here. But Harrison doing a great job here. And also, yeah, infiltrating Harrison in the Brave with a ping, connecting the Arcanolist with a Mana Worm. Something seems alright, and there is no minion besides the Harrison that the Ellie Armorsmith can trade away, so you can even snowball with your Mana Worm. Of course, there can be 1 AoE damage with the Ghoul or Winds from Neirea's perspective.
Seems like one of the best ways to develop the board. I can't imagine too many else happening here. He's going for a Glyph first.
Wow.
So he doesn't want to play the Arcanologist this turn, I guess.
Doesn't want to ping either then, I think. Polymorph, Counterspell. Both seem alright for me.
He already has 1 Counterspell, so that might be incentive to not go for the Counterspell and to take Polymorph instead.
Ooh, really slow approach here.
Interesting. He's setting up for this Meteor. This is the very, very slow approach to try and get value out of the Meteor. He's taking the game very slowly. So he wants to try and outvalue Neirea. He wants to push the game long.
Yeah, it's definitely an fine game plan for Zalae, but shall not take it too slowly. We have seen that where in his series against Sivka, really similar matchup, the Taunt Warrior, and it really came down to an, what was it, Fire Lens Portal into Glazer or something really super close.
The 2 mana give yourself a Flame Elemental deal 2 card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if that one wasn't picked up from the glyph,
yeah,
he was actually just too slow against the Taunt Warrior.
Right. You got to walk that line of you have to get enough value out of your cards to where you can kill all of the big taunts, but you have to go fast enough to where they aren't completing the quest and killing you super quickly and making value not matter.
Do you like this Meteor positioning? I think Neirea did it on purpose.
I think he did it on purpose to try and activate his minion to deal damage, yeah. So I think it's a pretty smart positioning there for Neirea so that he can activate his minion and start punching face for 5.
Yeah.
He is playing this super aggressively. He's trying as hard as he possibly can to get as much damage in pre-quest and complete the quest as fast as possible so he can just start launching rag shots. So it's kind of interesting to see that the players are on different pages here. Neirea's going as fast as possible, and Zalae's not reacting as fast as his hand would allow him to. He's being a little patient.
But it gives good knowledge of the matchup too, for like from Neirea, that he knows this is the way to go. That's where a lot of Tom Doris will not do that against a standard mage deck. He is anticipating it here that he needs to be way more aggressive to have a shot against Zalae.
Yeah, he makes his board very fragile though by doing this positioning. Right, like if it was a 2/6, then he doesn't have to worry about Flame Strike, for example. But he makes himself vulnerable to Flame Strike and some other options from Zalae.
Yeah, also just making the attack in the Curator with a ping and a Frostbolt or a Velvet are already connecting into the Blood of Brave. So it was a hard decision. It can still be worth it. I mean, you did 5 damage. So
yeah, it's a big deal getting that 5 damage in. And the aggression from Neirea.
Getting a Frostbolt out of the deck is also not so bad. It's less burn. Velvet, you might not even care. You play Tauns anyway, and yeah, do your best trading with all of them. They have a lot of HP.
Play has a few options here to clear the board. Flame Strike is the least development while clearing the board. I would love to see him use the Valet and get some extra minions out there. Playing Polymorph Potion this turn is extremely powerful.
Especially if he,
because he knows Neirea has a Drake, so he can stop that from coming down.
Just pinging the Curator seems also still really appealing to me.
Right. So I'd love to see Potion and Polymorph ping the Curator, take care of that.
Yeah, but I feel you're having the Mana Worm. You can think of Mana Worm, yeah. I was thinking of it too. But feels a little weak. But Counterspell is up, so a play like Sleep with the Fishes might be a little bit harder. Like Ghoul Sleep of the Fishes is not a direct clear anymore. Picking up the Ghoul, now we're talking about it. And Neirea knowing it, of course, that Counterspell is the third secret for Zalae, together with the 2 Icebox in his version.
It's interesting that he uses the Whirlwind here then, if he knew it was Counterspell, because this does not look clean at all. I would have loved to see him go for the Ghoul and then the Direhorn Hatchling, setting up for the Primordial Drake on the next turn. I think that Counterspell caught him off guard. I think he thought it was an Ice Block. Because this is really awkward now. He wishes he had 8 mana. And 7 mana, his plays are a little clunky. He can't really set up for the Primordial Drake for next turn. Kind of just has to play Direhorn Hatchling and Armor now.
Yeah, it's he can just go for Ghoul, Fishes, Armor up.
Okay. Do you feel like you need to aggressively clear these minions? It's only 5 pressure on board.
Yeah, it's not too much. A little scary though. I mean,
Alex can't come out yet.
I don't like Dirty Red that leads, but it's just too scary.
It is
Zalae's deck.
Yeah. Okay, he is playing this super defensively, stopping all of these minions from being able to connect.
Switching a little bit from game perspective
I know.
here. I'm not sure if I like it.
I think that Counterspell really threw him off. I don't think this is what he wanted to do at the beginning of this turn, but it's what he kind of ended up having to do. But this is a total different direction than what his other turns were doing. Previous to this, every single turn he was being as aggressive as he possibly could, developing into Zalae's minions, pushing face, and now he's reacting to Zalae's board to mitigate the damage Zalae's doing to him. So maybe he is saying...
yeah, he's also not like super close with the quest yet, but yeah, it's definitely... I mean, I guess it's the way for him to...
Maybe since he's drawn both Primordial Drakes now and he's got these clunky taunts, he's like, I'm not going to be able to finish the quest in time. I can't aggro him down. Let's switch to the armor out plan.
Yeah, or just getting some armor before going into the Sylvaris might still look... Like, if you can just go into Sylvaris and you are having 10 to 15 armor, that might already do a really good job. Even Zalae running a lot of burn. It's not that easy to spend Pyroblast and maybe 5 fireballs together in 2 turns.
Yeah, get a little bit of extra protection. Setting up the secret here threatens the ability to Alexstrasza Neirea on the following turn, which is fantastic. Also getting the Burgly Bully out there to try and generate some coins.
Stonehill Defender being really great, just helping the quest so much. I don't want to see another Primordial Drake. 3 is too much for this matchup.
Primordial Drake not terrific in the matchup.
Ooh.
Volcanic Might.
Some reasonable choices here.
He's going with the Death Rattle. Yeah, 1 damage could be super important later on to be able to pop the Ice Block. Once you start getting in. A 1-1 left over after a board clear is a super big deal.
Yeah, it's actually for Zalae. A little bit has some great clears in a way, but not really for Death Rattle minions.
He's got the Polymorph.
Got now the Polymorph.
He definitely doesn't have the time to drop Medivh here, but he could look at trying to play Primordial Glyph and see what happens there. Worst case, you know, Polymorph and drop an Acolyte.
Yeah, fully trading quite well, of course, into the Stonehill Defender too. That's not a big problem, but maybe thinking like, I don't even want to have the school attacking my face anymore.
What's the quest counter at?
I think it is. I think it's now 6-7.
Okay, so
I think he's getting there.
The weapon
might be
5-7,
but
yeah.
he was at I think 4-7, and now he with the Stonehill Defender connecting together with it. I'm pretty sure it's 6-7. That will be really good.
Is like enough to put Zalae in just basically the range where he could be dying.
Yeah. Yeah, and quest at 6-7 will mean also Direhorn connecting quite well here together.
He's only got 16 life, so 1 rag shot plus 2 swings of the weapon, and he's dead. Neirea has plenty of pressure to close out this game. Zalae has all the value in the world, but it doesn't really mean anything when you're dead.
Going here with the Dirty Rat, so we'll probably go for Acolyte with it.
He might just get the extra armor up.
Yeah, alright.
But yeah, getting Acolyte out there to try and draw into a Brawl to try and guarantee rag shots to connect to the face, or extra removal that can help it do so.
I'm not super sure if I like the Dirty Rat too much. I will maybe
he's trying to like Dirty Rat out Alexstrasza, for example.
Alright.
Yeah, if you can Dirty Rat out Alexstrasza, then it's very difficult for Zalae to kill you.
Yeah, it can be a little dangerous because he's not really dead ahead on board. Like now having an Alexstrasza on board and you're missing the shot can be just Alex hitting your face.
I don't like it as much. I think I would have preferred the Direhorn Hatchling as well, and then you just take the 50-50. If you kill the minion, fantastic. If you hit him in the face, even better.
Fine.
Like, he's almost dead then. Then your weapon swing kills him next turn. So, yeah, the Dirty Rat seems questionable.
It's just defensive or something.
Yeah, he's just squeezing in that extra armor in case he gets Alex, and he's trying to Dirty Rat out the Alex.
And because he had to trade now, he's not able to, like, if this board goes down, but it's kind of likely, you are not able to proc. You're just 1 turn later, and 1 turn later means 10 mana later too, and Zalae has a lot of more opportunities now.
10 mana is a big deal. But no Alexstrasza for Zalae, so he can't really set up the burn plan against Neirea. It's just too much life at this point. He needs to win out on board control here.
Yeah, Firelance Portal is kind of alright.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah, I'd say get friendly, right? Kinda alright.
Ice depends what you get off of it.
The problem is that you leave 6 damage on board, and or 2 damage on board with the 4 damage of the weapon is exactly the 6 damage together with the 8. That is a possible ice block pop. Wow, Medivh, so greedy.
Yeah, well, when the burn plan doesn't work, you have to go for the value plan.
Well, I got the second ice block.
No, that's a Mirror Entity. Oh, in the hand. He does, so he can stall out for another turn after that and hopefully set up a board where Neirea can't hit him with the rag shot. So Neirea needs to cycle into the Brawl, basically. Then he'll have all the conditions he needs to really close this game out.
So Neirea is also able to trade the 1-2 away, deals 6 damage in the face, so has a 50-50 shot hitting Medivh or hitting the face. Definitely, let's close what you want here, but face is maybe what you're looking for. Gets it in the face, so being able to pop the ice block this turn. I think it's 1 turn or something too early for Zalae, maybe too. Has great base though. The Medivh weapon can do a great job.
Neirea does not have a Brawl though.
Yeah,
if he's unable to find one relatively soon, Zalae can just go extremely wide on this board and lock out the rag shot from being able to connect. Doesn't have too great of ways to clear it at the moment, but he could roll a taunt off of one of these spells.
Zalae might have to consider also, like, yeah, like he probably knows, or he knows there's one Drake in the hand, and can maybe also just disrespect Fire Vorax. That will make the game plan a little bit easier for Zalae, not playing Ice Block, for example. But yeah, it's you can just die to a Brawl also really closely.
Yeah. So if you wanted to not play Ice Block this turn, the best way to clear, you take the trade, Volcanic Potion. The clear is just really ugly, right? Like, I guess you could polymorph the Acolyte.
Oh, that sounds also really ugly.
Yeah, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. So I think you want to be Ice Blocking this turn and getting the biggest minion you can.
Portal?
Yeah, you want to get the Firelands Portal out there.
Seems pretty good on Dirty Rat, having a trade with the Medivh. Yeah. Going for that. And you also have the option that you top deck your Alexstrasza, but it's still left in Zalae's deck, so he could win it the defensive way.
Well, yeah, I don't know about win it, but he could buy himself some more time, that's for sure. Not a bad minion.
That's a really good one. It's an insane one to brawl because you're getting 3 1-1s on the board. Wow.
Yeah. So even if Brawl comes out, he could still live.
Actually, now Neirea having the doesn't even need to have the wreck shot in the face. Can just do it with a minion, what might be really great for him. Can connect a little bit easier the Drake or the Ghoul.
He has to worry about how much damage comes on the backswing here.
Well,
that is quite some damage. Yeah, 12, 19 on the board.
Maybe he's looking for maximizing the Acolyte draw in a way. Like you.
Well, he popped with the Acolyte.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see him hero power first. If you hit the 5/7, you can farm the Acolyte on one of the 1/1s.
Wow, that's such a great hit for Neirea because it makes the Primordial Drake way more appealing, and it also makes for next turns, like now the wreck shot going into the face is much more likely.
Yeah, I like this sequencing by Neirea, knowing the Primordial Drake's coming down. That makes sense.
Another Fire Lance Portal. Well, it is a way to deal with the... He has to here, right? I mean, it develops minion and trades the Primordial Drake.
You could try and develop Pyros and utilize Polymorph this turn as well.
Yeah.
Another way to clear the board, and then you get to hold on to more burn potentially.
You can also play Pyros and Fire Lance Portal.
Yeah.
Trade, and then you are just maximizing developing your board. There's
Sure,
not
yeah.
much
Get all the minions you can. I like that. So you lose the 3/2, but you get a random 5-drop. Random 5-drop on average better than 3/2. I don't think we have the time to slow play this one. I think we got to sacrifice the 3/2, get aggressive on the board. So, and even you can develop this Potion of Polymorph, which is interesting. He's been holding this 1-mana secret. He's had hung a mana a couple turns. What do you think he's trying to save that for?
I don't know. I thought rather about it a little bit more, but no, it's cannot see that it saves anywhere.
Yeah, he's finally getting it out this turn.
Yeah, this is a little bit tricky for Neirea since he has no idea what the secret is, and he
it
can
be an
just
ice
think
block.
it can be an ice block indeed.
Yeah. So I think Zalae has just been holding on to the secret the whole game for the bluff value of what time is a random secret going to be the most influential, and he beams right now.
I think Primordial Drake hero power is, no matter what secret this is, always the play here. It's alright. Entity was worse there for Neirea. And wow, taking it serious there. And actually, the deck that is Zalae targeting so badly, first time Neirea queues it up, just gets it out there.
That's a big deal. That is huge. That is the deck Zalae wanted to get the most wins against. That is what his lineup is trying to beat. Yeah. And it's through.
I still feel it was a little bit of a slow play from Zalae. It was like the same against
I don't know why
Sivka.
his Mana Worm didn't come down. Like, I don't know why he had... what is the 2/3?
The Valet.
The Valet, the Arcanologist. These minions were sitting in his hands while he was like cycling cards and just slow playing removal, setting up meteors really slowly. He could have played so much faster on the board. He had like 10 cards in his hand the whole game.
Neirea too. Neirea Call of 2 also played a little bit faster here, I think. But yeah, after a really close game, gonna also go to an interview to restart. What do you have there?
Yeah, I'm on the floor with RDU right now. RDU, you're going to be playing against whoever actually loses in this series. Now, I think I know who you're rooting for. Who are you rooting for?
I'm rooting for Zalae to win because I have a better lineup against Neirea. Still slightly unfavored, but a better lineup against Neirea than against Zalae. So if I am to play Zalae, I want to play him as late as possible so that he's more tired.
So that's your game plan right now. But, I mean, this was kind of the list that Zalae was hoping to target, and now it hasn't happened. What do you think his game plan is if he wants to win here right now?
I think he just needs to play correctly. Like, if he plays perfectly, he has a very good lineup against Neirea. Even this game, I think he could have done some better things. From what I saw, I didn't watch it entirely, but from what I saw, I think he could have played Medieval earlier. He was afraid of Harrison Jones, I think. But the more you wait, the bigger chance of him having Harrison is. So that's a moment where you just play it and just hope for the best, because you're not in really a spot where you can afford to not play it. That doesn't happen that often.
Yeah, we're going to have to see how this one unfolds, because RDU is waiting to play the loser of this matchup. Going to throw it back to you guys at the couch.
Yeah, thank you. And we are back here now that the series is tied up. It is 2-2. And yeah, it was just a really important one. This was a really important one
really
from both sides. Two of the decks that are a little tricky, but especially for Neirea with the Taunt Warrior. And yeah,
I liked it. Neirea said, you know what, after his earlier matches, day 2, he was like, man, Taunt Warrior is a deck I was really struggling with. I feel like I wasn't being aggressive enough with it. But he was pretty freaking aggressive that game.
Pretty freaking aggressive,
and he
yeah.
killed Zalae before Zalae could turn his 9-card hand into value. He couldn't do anything with it. He just died too quickly. So I really like the way Neirea piloted that Warrior, how he's changed from how he was playing earlier on in the tournament, adjusting his plan, being more aggressive with it, really working out.
Value not being the problem at all for Zalae there on that. He had value more than enough, but the Taunt Warrior, it can switch a little bit. So where it's sometimes super defensive in these kind of matchups, it wants to be the aggressive player. And we are getting the Mage here against the
That's a good Mage hand. The Mage wants to see that Mana Worm early, that Arcanologist early. It's going to allow it to get in the chip damage and hinder the Jade curve, hinder the mana development from the Jade Druid, so that then can transition to that burn plan later on.
They're just a great pickup though for Neirea, but matchup-wise, great start here for Neirea at the 2-2. Getting the Jade Druid into the Mage here is pretty, overall a really good matchup. With some tech decisions might be alright here for Zalae here and there, but...
Yeah, the Burgly Bully and Antonidas are both great against Druid, because oftentimes the Druid gives you the board while they ramp their mana, they give you the board even more while they ramp their Jades, and then they try and take it back.
Minions in general are really good, right?
Yeah, so if you can jam early minions, like we see here, and then, mid-range minions to follow up on that, like a Burgly Bully, for example, then you can find yourself running away with a game before they can actually come back on the board and capitalize on their mana advantage.
So we are having here Tremana. Definitely Secret getting played. It's also, you can ping, but you already increase your damage by 1 playing a Secret to buff the Mana Worm. And kind of want to see maybe the Ice Block just because coin still being in a hand for Neirea.
Sure. But then you have to figure, does counterspelling coin actually stop him from doing something? And is that important?
What to do?
Because it could. It could definitely do so. Right now it stops him from being able to coin Nourish. But it's not the biggest deal in the world. There aren't too many 5-drops in Druid nowadays, actually. So you're not really stopping any coin 5 plays except coin Nourish, which I believe is why Zalae has decided to go with Ice Block instead of the Counterspell. There's no Druid of the Claws or stuff like that in Druid anymore.
Oh, Neirea making use of it now. Starting with the coin, of course checking it, getting the ref there on the Mana Worm, just wanting to not get out-pressured here.
Now the Counterspell can lock down the turn 5 play from Neirea's deck. The only turn 5 play really in the deck is Nourish. So if you get a Counterspell going into their turn 5, oftentimes they have to play off curve.
Zalae can also, in theory, fireball the Acolyte. We have been seeing him fireballing a lot of weak minions, so never putting that one out.
I like this. I like shutting down that Nourish. He saw the coin being held earlier on for the Wild Growth.
Oh, so wow. That pickup of an Innervate.
Yeah, that's huge for Neirea. Able to break the Counterspell and have it be able to do something this turn. Otherwise, he was falling way far behind, so that's absolutely huge.
Was a little fast. Like, you could maybe think of, like, what if I trade with my Acolyte here, getting connecting minions. So really fast decision, but definitely, that Innervate pickup really saving that Counterspell.
That would have been a disaster if you didn't. He would have had to pass.
Zalae was so patient with it, like not playing it a turn before just for this, and but the coin and Innervate dealing well with the secrets.
Yeah. Well, Zalae does have a lot of the burn plan going for him already. With 2 Fireballs, Firelance Portal, 17 points of burn in his hand. The Alexstrasza to set his opponent down to 15. There's 3 more burn right there. Now he has 20 damage. He could start chucking it all at the face right now.
Yeah. And also Medivh's Spell is kind of a good pickup here. It's just a Frostball with a body. It's so great during the game, especially the mid game. Not directly turn 2, but
the Jades are only 1-1. I would love to see Zalae just start launching everything.
I think Acolyte also really likes to...
He farms the 1-1, sure. Yeah. For the extra draws, but I definitely want to see some damage going to the face. I think this is a Fireball face turn.
I think it's an...
Yeah.
Maybe Medivh's...
Medivh's Valet face, Fireball face,
oh, wow.
Frostbolt face, Fireball face, Firelands Portal face, Firelands Portal face. Look at how much damage he's got.
Yeah, he's having a lot. Like, he's having just 12...
He has 28.
18, 28 damage. And with the...
That beats the Feral Rage.
Yeah, and there is only one. And
there's only one.
The skills are not... They're all right here, but it's just 5 or 6 armor often what is gonna be in there. I'm just a little scared because Zalae's playing so control heavy with his mage that he's gonna like felly his...
Control heavy or not, look at his hand!
Yeah, I know, but I'm actually like...
You don't play... you gotta play your hand you're dealt.
I think he's really concerning here. Like,
he wants to trade. I know he wants to trade.
I think he might just trade.
No, there's no way. You gotta clock your opponent. You start trading with the Jades, they play more Jade cards. Oh, I love to see this.
Oh, man.
Yes, that's what you gotta be doing. Clock your opponent, set up your win condition.
I mean, it's already for next turn he called already have lethal, so it's not just the long-term plan, and he can continue it so well.
And Neirea needs to pull burn away from his face, and one of the ways he can do that is with Gadgets and Auctioneer. If the Gadgets and Auctioneer comes out, Zalae might feel he has to, you know, remove that. And if he's removing that, then he's not launching burn at the face. So I'd love to see, you know, Neirea use that kind of pseudo taunt that the Gadget Send provides and develop one of those this turn.
Yeah, it's also kind of mana efficient. Maybe getting more Kadro going in the way of getting the Feral Rage, getting his skills. But this is a really big problem for the Jade. Like already now having to look so badly for his defensive cards. For the wow.
All right, Fandrel's also the same thing as Gadget, right? Fandrel's one of those kind of must-kill minions. This allows Neirea to next turn nourish if the Fandrel sticks around.
Yeah, nourish is great here, but he's still having a lot of damage left, like 19 just being in the hand, 2 on the board, Glyph in the hand. It's
one of the issues with Firelands Portal is you can roll Corrupted Heal Bot, which will heal your opponent for 8. So it's always scary to use that to set up a burn plan. Oftentimes you want to use other cards to set up in the Firelands Portal to finish.
Yeah, Firelands Portal, Fandrel, it's normally the play here at turn 7, but here I like the aggressive approach.
Oh yeah, screw the Fandrel.
Too much.
You got enough damage.
He also is having an Ice Block, and now one skill's gone, he can still beat the Feral Rage. He just needs a little additional time, but he can get there.
Yeah. No fear of the heal bot.
No.
That's not a heal bot, so he's in the green.
And you see how important these early minions are. The Mana Arm, the Arcane is already coming down at turn 2. Well, it's still there at turn 7, so just dealing so much damage during the game. I think the start here is a Nourish. See if there is any pickup that can be great here for Neirea. Has to be an armor card. Doesn't find it.
That's not armor.
Doesn't find it.
Got one more try. You could use Pyro to get an additional try. Jade Idol doesn't do it.
No, and
he could have went Wild Pyromancer Jade Blossom, which would damage the Acolyte, and then he could take the trade afterwards and still have 1 mana left over for the Earthen Scales if he top decks it. So he did miss 1 draw at the Earthen Scales during this play.
Yeah, but also still having the Feral Rage in the deck, so it's hard to say. Keeping the lines a little bit more open. But here, with the armor up, like he can of course hero power and go to 10, but we see there is a Firebolt Frostbolt, and Zalae actually not beating the Taunt Warrior, what's so favorable for him, but just beating the Jade Druid.
This is the 3rd time he's beaten this Jade Druid. All of his wins are against Jade Druid. And a deck that we thought, hey, maybe he might want to ban this because it's so great against his control decks. And he's just getting aggressive starts against them and running them over.
Yeah, and like, I mean, Neirea banned actually the Jade Druid from Zalae, but his own Jade Druid just going 0-3 down now, right? I mean, it's really, we talked about it being maybe the great deck for him in the lineup, or cannot do much against Zalae, but 0-3 there with the Jade Druid.
0-3 with Jade Druid. Not something you'd expect in a control versus control series.
No, definitely not. And well,
Zalae, you still got 1 more game to play, man.
I find it's like, no, GG easy, Neirea. You can concede now.
No.
You can concede now.
I imagine he's going to the restroom, trying to refocus in.
Yeah. But still having
drinking a lot of water out of those cool cups.
They look cool. They
look
good.
cool.
They look
I want
really
one of those
cool.
cups.
Maybe
we should ask him. Maybe
yeah,
we can get a cup.
Hey, come on, here he
Yeah,
comes, right? So.
my hair is pink. Give me a cup. You know.
But yeah, now also, what in the last deck for Zalae, it's the Shaman, right? He is having the Shaman, and that
has his struggle deck.
It has been a little bit the struggle deck.
Yeah, this is the one that he's struggled with playing the most, and he's lost the most with throughout the course of the tournament. And watching the games back, he said, "I've made the most mistakes on this deck." So. It's definitely not over. And Neirea knows this. They were talking about it beforehand.
Okay, yeah.
They were like talking about games, watching plays together. You know, they're friends. So they both know that he's been struggling with this Shaman. But he's saying he feels much more confident now after practicing with it. I know he worked with his practice partner Ike on the Shaman deck. And he says, you know what, I'm going to win with it first try this time.
Well, I hope it's gonna pay off for him. Like all the practice that he did yesterday evening, we saw some parts of it, and he is now having.
I mean, he was just fit. We went out to the bars, right? And then we came up through the elevator. He was like coming back from the gym because he had just finished. He had practiced till like 3 a.m. We were like what, 3 a.m.
Yeah, 2, 3 a.m.
2, 3 a.m. Yeah, he was coming back from the gym while we were going into the hotel because he had just finished practicing that Shaman deck. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great to see, and now he's having it to show it against the Jade Druid. What is still left for Neirea?
That's a tough matchup.
Little bit tricky, but at the end, it's also a little bit of a Jade mirror in a way. From if your Jades can like be better than your opponent,
draw all the Jade cards.
It's a little bit problematic because Jade Druid has a little bit better tools to get it all going. We'll see there if he can maybe get it there out, but yeah, still he has 2 tries. He's having 2 tries.
Yeah.
The other deck for Neirea left, if I'm correct, is the Freeze Match, and.
That's an easy win for the Freeze Mage against the Shaman.
Yeah, like so not the 2 best matchup left here for the Shaman. Like
honestly, probably the 2 worst matchups left for the Shaman remaining. The overlay is a little mixed up there. Neirea has the Mage left and not the Warrior left.
So, and yeah, like for the Freeze Mage, just like even running the Echoes, you're running a lot of heal. You just don't have the time. Like the Freeze Mage just drawing so much, having so much burn, and yeah, maybe you can connect 6 additional heal, but it's not getting close. And Neirea going first with the Mage also against the Shaman.
He feels more confident with the Mage first, so he's going to take that one. This matchup, we've seen it played out 3 or 4 times across the span of the tournament in these 3 days, and it has fallen in favor of the Mage every single time. Also, so what does Zalae need to do differently to change the results of how this matchup has been going?
What I've been seeing a lot is some slow play from Shamans. Like, yeah, we are keeping heal here and there, not just not developing enough or playing super reactively.
That's what you want. Yeah, you don't want to try and heal out. You want to kill them before they kill you. It's one of those kind of games.
And
oh my gosh.
Oh man, all these early Jades.
That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Jade cards. He's going to have 5 Jades roll in very quickly.
And let's draw an Aya or a Mana Tide and these kind of cards with it. And we see in hand here for Neirea, double Ice Block being drawn is definitely not what you're looking for. So definitely a game. Ooh, it's
I mean, it's not bad. But
it's alright. As long as he doesn't draw Volcano, Maelstrom, like devolves, all these removals is what he's definitely not looking for.
So I imagine we're going to see a totem here so that you can go Coin Jade Spirit into Jade Spirit. Or do you want to see the claws come out? Start swinging.
Yeah,
he has a lot of weapon charges.
I think Hero Power can be the right. Okay.
He wants to get the weapon charges out of the way, it looks like. He can then swing again next turn and then re-equip the claws and then go into coin 4 into 4.
Yeah, attacking here definitely nice because of the next Jade claws you can play, but also Neirea running an Ooze might just want to just charge everything in before the Ooze gets drawn.
Sure.
There's not too many weapons in Zalae's deck.
I want to see another Jade Claws out. Don't mess around with totems. Every Jade card come out as fast as possible. Maximum pressure. Don't give the Mage time to do what it wants to do.
Yeah, now you see that it's already getting like Neirea using pretty early Doomsayer.
And the Doomsayer is getting shut down here. The Coin Jade Lightning develops a 3/3 and stops the Doomsayer.
That seems the way to go. Maybe a little like your turn 5 is most likely going to be Jade Spirit. Yeah, not so optimal maybe, but it's still like you're developing your Jade.
It's a 4/4 Jade on turn 5.
That's pretty good. It goes pretty fast. Yeah, it's definitely a way to go for Zalae here.
Oh yeah. I don't think you ever want to let the Doomsayer go off. I think that's a huge mistake. I want to see him kill this Doomsayer. You got to keep the pressure up. If the Doomsayer goes off, Neirea just has all the time in the world. He gets to play down his Acolyte of Pain. He can farm draws off of it. You don't want to allow him to do that. You want to limit the amount of card draw he can get because he has to spend all of his time reacting to you. A race to see if you can kill Neirea in time before he finds the cards necessary to win the game.
Yeah, Neirea. You also give just too much draw options to Neirea. Like, he can even consider that Acolyte. Oh no, he's going again for the slow approach.
Why?
You gotta talk with him a little bit. Why? Also the Mage, like, it's a little slow approach.
Was he maybe afraid? Is there a counterspell in Neirea's deck? Is that what he's afraid of? You could play the coin.
Well, you start with the coin, right?
Yeah, you start with the coin, so it's fine.
I think there's only a barrier. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's only a barrier as well. I don't know. I guess he feels okay if Acolyte Ping comes out. He lowers the cost of his thing from below. He wants to save Jade Light. One of the benefits of Jade Lightning is you can kill your opponent with it after you pop the block.
That's true. It's also one of the best Jade cards later in the game.
Right.
Just to trade, you definitely would like to just start with Jade Spirits. I have also been drawn. The Jades are getting
the Jades are ridiculous.
The Jades are getting really together.
If you could handpick the cards you'd want to draw in this game, it would be all of these cards and the second Jade Lightning.
Yeah, and then after turn 9, you're going to say, hey, can we get these water speakers?
Yeah, all the water speakers, yeah. The Jade Lightning also held on to can allow you to answer a Doomsayer later on. So like if Nova Doom comes out at a more important board, Zalae's going to be able to Jade Lightning plus the weapon and Maelstrom Portal to kill a later stage Doomsayer that's more impactful.
Oh, man.
So there's a lot of logic behind saving the Jade Lightning.
Yeah.
There's definitely positives and negatives to it. It's really interesting.
Amethyst fell. It's kind of rapid. Jade's already 4-4, so,
so big.
Like it goes really fast.
Yeah.
Iceblock getting paid. Might give him an additional turn. Maybe not here, but that he doesn't get popped at turn 8 can be really important now to set up. Has the mana for it anyway.
More Jades.
We have a plan, Firebat.
Yeah.
Yeah, can go.
Solid plan.
Can go Maelstrom. Trading away the Valid if you really want to with the weapon.
I don't really like that because we don't have a way to answer Nova Doom if we do that.
That's true.
If without a Hex in hand, without Devolve in hand, I want to hold on to the Jade Lightning and Maelstrom Portal now so that I have and the weapon so that there's 7 damage available at any time to kill Doomsayer if it comes out with Nova. Because if that comes out, that could actually stop your entire board.
Spell damage total. Well, playing another Jade here.
Every turn.
Every turn, slamming the Jades. Barrier getting popped here, but there is also still an ice block in place, so that's already what Neirea has achieved. That he has so having second ice block kind of important for Neirea because he's on the plan to Alex at turn 9, I think.
Yeah, if he can Alex on turn 9, he's going to be in good position to take this game.
Wow, that's just really not a great draw for Neirea. He has to ping his own Telmos now.
Yeah, looking for any sort of freeze. He has all the burn to get the job done. He just needs the Alex to be able to come down. Well, if the Alex comes down, he has the game. He can go Fireball, reapply Ice Block, and then Pyro after that a lot of the time. If there's no healing anyway.
Well, he doesn't actually fully have the burn. I mean, yeah, he still needs the Ice Block, Fireball, Ping, but then even a Hot Spring Guardian is already... Like with double Fireball, you cannot connect it with the Ice Block.
Yeah, yeah.
And
that's something big less
problem.
Clunky to go alongside it.
Yeah, it needs to be a Frostbolt or a Glyph card that can be able to do it.
Zalae can utilize the Hex here to push 7 damage. Well, I guess 5 damage because he still has to trade into it with something. And he can develop another Jade card. So I would love to see him Hex this Doomsayer, continue stacking up the Jades. The Jades are big enough that they're out of Flame Strike range, so you could consider trading the 4/4 into the 2/3 to help yourself play around the potential Flame Strike board clears.
Yeah, seems alright. Still looking for like, yeah, you obviously the Doomsayer is gonna get traded away. Just still want to be as aggressive as I can here.
Stonehill Defender is not very aggressive.
This one is.
This one is very aggressive.
I mean, you had 3 mana. That
he wants to hold on to this Hex, yeah.
But I like the 4 in the face. I think. I think I wanna.
Well, now
it's a little yeah, like Flame Strike being a. Ooh, that's a little one turn to. I would love to do it together with the Doomsayer. but I still think he needs to play it here to guarantee an Alex next turn. Otherwise, it's just too much damage on board.
Yeah.
So off curve, like you have 5 mana, you're just completely blanking on.
If Neirea can find a Frostbolt, then he can try and connect enough burn to really make something happen after the Alex.
Like this ping. He is already like, Nerea's going Alex anyway next turn, but this also not attacking. It kind of spoilers of Flame Strike and might be coming a little bit in mind of Zalae.
Zalae needs to make sure he does not fill his board too much. That's not really an issue. When Alex comes down, you can trade minions in, so it's fine.
I think it's either... Gengo, yeah, Earth Elemental. It's like the only card that plays really well around Flame Strike, but are you happy to overload yourself, knowing that you might really need to heal and maybe connect the Spirit Echo?
He wants to get into a position where if Alex comes down, he can deal with the Alex efficiently and pop the block. So does he have enough damage on the table already to do that? He's got 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Yeah.
So he should try and add a little bit more power onto the board, so when Alex comes down, he can do that.
Yeah, and besides that, I think what he also wants is to heal that turn, because he can just die to Fireball Frostbolt after the Alex comes down.
Yeah.
This is actually a little bit funny that Neirea was bailing out like, hey, I have a Flame Strike, not having it, but drawing it now, so actually also paying it for him off this way, and maybe considering the Flame Strike here.
It does remove a lot of the pressure.
Yeah.
The Jade that comes out is a 6/6, so there's still a little bit of pressure coming back at you. There's 13 damage left on the board, 15 with the weapon. So you know the only burst is the Jade Lightning, so you would never get popped after the Flame Strike, but you would be able to get set extremely low.
But what it does, it just gives Neirea one additional draw. What is really important, he gets one additional turn to maybe get the Frost, or the one draw that might be so important for him to deal a little bit more damage than just relying on an Ice Block Fireball ping into Pyro. One is just losing to any heal.
If he gets the extra draw, he has a higher chance to get the Frostbolt. If he gets the Frostbolt, he beats some of the heal. He doesn't beat Jinyu Water Speaker, but he would be able to beat the Hot Spring Guardian's heal.
Yeah, that's interesting, because Flame Strike is not going to do it anymore. It's not going to gain an additional turn like it called last turn. Going for the Alex though, so Zalae needing to kill one of his own minions to play some heal.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Spirit Echo, yeah, like it just doesn't matter at this point almost that all these minions are Spirit Echoed.
Can he even pop and deal with the Alex this turn? You don't need to deal with the Alex. You got the taunts, sure.
You don't need to deal with the Alex. But you need to heal.
You need to heal. So you got to trade something in to heal. You also need to pop this turn. Giving Neirea extra turns means you're going to die. He's going to have the freedom to play a lot more burn. So very important that you pop this turn.
Yeah, Iceblock getting popped and healing are the most important things. If Alex can get traded away with it, awesome. But if not, then not.
Yeah, you have the taunt in the way, you're fine. The 7/8 is ginormous. So he's not going to be hexing the Alex. He's just going to be trading in one of his minions, utilizing the healing this turn.
Got 2 mana, but not really able to do much with it. Also saving the Jade Claws for a potential freeze effect and still having lethal.
Makes a lot of sense. He also has the Jade Lightning that can go over the top to play around the freeze effect for lethal.
Yeah, a little bit of a problem now for Neirea that Flame Strike just not doing it, and I think he needs to look for like a glyph to get like another Ice Block.
If he gets another Ice Block, he's in it.
I think he fireballs phased together with an Acolyte here.
Right.
The ping just, I mean, for a ping I would like to just play Acolyte. I don't feel the ping is as relevant.
The ping knocks him down to what, 14?
Is fireballing a minion? Okay, yeah, well, actually connects 8 to
He connects 8 this way, yeah.
So that's
better.
Much better, actually. Now thinking if pinging phase is giving any additional odds, but indeed...
It would give out... no, it doesn't really give anything, because Glyph Fireball still gets there, regardless of the ping happening or not.
It's a little like, you know that there are hexes from Zalae, and it's pretty likely you might just hex the Acolyte to the max to play around every possible additional out.
Yeah.
I think I want to see Hot Spring Guardian and Hex getting played.
Yeah, stop that Acolyte from being able to get additional cards.
Oh, the Jinju Water Speaker being able to trade away here.
Wow. He can't play it this turn, though, because of the overload, but he can get it back up into his hand, which is very powerful.
Yeah, but this way he's still able to connect the Hex, so it fits the curve really well. And 16 is kind of safe, I would say. 15 I will not say. And not 16 if there is a glyph already being played, but we haven't seen it yet. I like that he just trades it away. Not a value trade, but otherwise a freeze. He will not be able to get the Jinju back in the hand and heal for 6.
Not hexing the Acolyte. Oh, it's still deciding. Saving the Hex for Antonitis could be a real thing, I guess, but I love hexing this Acolyte.
I want a Hex here. I mean, he has no time for Antonitis.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can have a Fireball. Glyph has to be drawn here, right? Pyroblast, but yeah, Pyroblast killing something, but not Zalae.
Boom.
And there's Zalae. Well, Shaman, he's doing it here with the Shaman, definitely.
He said he was going to do it first try with the Shaman. He said he practiced all night. When I talked to him in the hallway at the hotel at 3 in the morning, he said, I've been practicing Shaman all night. I'm going to get a win with it on his first try. And he does it.
And he delivered. And yeah, it was great to see. I mean, it was definitely an interesting series. A lot of matchups not going the way, like the Jade Druid just going 0-3 down a little bit for
that
Neirea.
was strange.
And here the Shaman just getting the win, and we have seen it totally differently, the whole tournament, this matchup. Pretty impressive. Tauntwarrior also not a problem for Neirea going
able to get it right through. There was upsets all over, standard archetype-wise.
Yeah, little strange series in that way, but 4-2's victory for Zalae, for your fellow American.
So he is going to be moving up. He's going to be playing against PF in the winner's bracket. And Neirea is going to be knocked down. He is going to be playing against RDU.
Yep, so still, it is a double elimination tournament here, so nobody that loses yet is out here in the top 4. But yeah, winner's bracket definitely feels a little bit much better to start there in with.
Everybody likes winning.
Yeah, so Zalae and PF having a really good shot now in the winner's bracket for Neirea and RDU when they are facing each other in the loser's bracket match. Tournament will be on the line for them.
Yeah, they could get eliminated. Yeah. And you don't want to do that. You want to win, obviously. So I believe we're going to be having the winner's match first, right? So it's going to be PF versus Zalae.
Yes.
And a little interesting thing about that, PF, no War Axes in the Tauntwarrior.
Haven't they been playing before against each other, Zalae and PF?
Zalae and PF happened at day 1, right? So they did play against each other, and I believe PF won. So this is a rematch where PF's already kind of the top dog. He has the upper hand. Might be in Zalae's head a little bit.
Yeah, or maybe Zalae is hungry. We saw it, how hungry he was to maybe
he got to win with the Shaman. Against PF, the Shaman lost 3 times.
3 times,
so that is important now that he's more confident with the Shaman and he feels better with it. But while the players get ready for that match, we are going to go to a quick break, and then we will be right back with the action.